Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to this, your Sagittarius July 2025 reading and forecast. Hi, I'm Nigel St. James, clairvoyant. Well, a good deck this month, a famous deck, you would have heard of it. It's called Thoth deck. A lot of people are confused by it because of the imagery that's on it, but it's, of course, I've known it for years. And the developer of the deck is said to be Aleister Crowley. The artist of the deck, though, is the real heroine of the story, Frieda Harris. Now, Frieda Harris was an Englishwoman in London, and she was married to a senior British politician at the time of doing all of these paintings, which took her like a few years, I think. And look, the senior politician, I think, had probably a couple of other interests on the side, if you know what I mean, and was neglecting, I suspect, Frieda Harris, and so she was looking around for other forms of companionship, and she came across Aleister Crowley, who was definitely out there and interesting and entertaining, and struck up a friendship with him. Now, the friendship with him was, I would imagine, was entirely non-physical, because I think Crowley's tastes did not extend to ladies. And of course, Crowley was an inveterate heroin addict, opium addict, and cocaine. Anything he could get his hands on, really. And he lived off the generosity of lonely ladies, widows, or neglected wives, and would seek to, no doubt, borrow money on the basis that something would be paid back or help him with his expenses and so on. And as is sadly the case, they complied with his dishonourable request. Now, you know, as a clairvoyant, that I provide clairvoyant readings to you wherever you may happen to be in the world. The description has the details of that. I charge for those. What I don't charge for, though, and which I offer for free, and without any expectation, and you won't be sold anything or recommended anything, is the gift of healing. And that gift comes through me and not from me. It's been apparent to me for a long, long, long time now, because I do it and it works. So, if this calls out to you, the details are in the description as well. There are no video advertisements breaking their way into this content, and so you don't get interrupted. Now let's see what there is for you. There is the Devil, the Star, two great arcanas there, the Nine of Wands. This is the Eight of Wands. Fascinating. And see here, there is the Empress. Well, why don't you come and sit down here next to me? I'll also bring the camera around so that everybody else can see as well. And together, you and I can have a good look at the imagery that's on these cards, and you'll see what I mean when they really do talk to us, and what they're reflecting of the cosmic energy that's swirling around you now, and I'll do the reading for you. Great power and strength here for you, very decisive, very successful in the material world, cosmic blessings raining down upon you, enormous love. What is this great Sagittarius card here in the center got to say to you now? Well, what's interesting is that this is the moon in Sagittarius here, and the glyphs, the astrological glyphs, are both at the bottom of the card here, which is talking about subconscious for me. The moon and Sagittarius that are there. This is a time, I think, that you have power that is gained by you unifying your subconscious and your conscious energies. There's a wholeness to you now, a great determination and strength of character, something of a courage under fire, I think, certainly defending what you have worked for, and a great belief in yourself. Now, there is a strong let's look at the imagery, because this is one of those decks where it's really useful to do so. Here there is a strong wand in the center that is connecting the sun with the moon, being those subconscious powers, and they become visible through the radiant light of the conscious sun. So those, as I say, those hidden powers are awakened within you, and you can apply them towards a purpose. Now, recognizing these unused potentials and talents within you sets free more energies which might even be experienced as new or unusual to you. There is a strength here which is growing from within you. And this is symbolized, I think, by the crescent moons, which are on the heads of these arrows here. Oh, not arrows, what do you call them? Sagittarius, these wands. Moon everywhere there, subconscious powers, talents that you didn't even know that you had. Now, the force of this newfound strength, I think, is really going to banish any doubts or darkness or ignorance which may be hanging around you. And when the unconscious becomes visible, well, you might be faced with many things you have covered up in order to avoid looking at them. And this can sometimes produce some sort of unease. It can be the fear of feeling painful wounds that you have covered up from things, events, or people in the past and hoped to forget. There may also simply be a fear of your own yet unproven strength, which now is reaching into all the areas of your life and reorganizing them. And the good thing is that this inner strength is going to bubble up with you in proportion to the difficulty of any task or requirement that presents itself to you. And you might experience your energy going far beyond the boundaries that you thought existed. This could well be a very key experience for you, the beginning of a very far-reaching inner and outer unfolding of your potential. So I think you're getting in the process of discovering your real strength. So trust your inner guide. Are you a little bit afraid of your own strength? And in what areas of your life does this come up? For some reason, this is suggesting that you should pay attention to your dreams at this time. But do say this to yourself: I know more and more clearly who I am. This understanding leads to the full development of my potential strength. Great endurance here for you. Because this is shown up in your reading in the center, you can deal with anything. You're now ready for it. Now here is another Sagittarius energy. It's good for you, isn't it? Mercury in Sagittarius. Mercury, of course, is bringing you great intellectual ability, really great ability to write and to speak as well. This is about decision. This is number 8 here. Now, what's going to be with you at this time is power, balance, harmony, the ability to make things happen and turn them into reality, a great practicality and skill, but in particular, there's a big, quick decision that you are making. It needs to be quick, because this energy is like electricity. It's not like some slow burning fire. So clear, direct, swift communication will be your brand during this month, and it will allow you to overcome any misunderstandings and overcome any obstacles. Now, you might find that life around you is moving very fast, but certainly blockages are going to be removed. And there are opportunities which are turning up very quickly now. you will be able, as I say, imminently now to put into practice, into reality, those things that you've been thinking of. If there has been a blockage, and I think that this is what it's talking about, this communication to get rid of blockages here. Now this blockage is, for me, represented by a square. There's the square. Do you see that in the outline there? But it transforms itself, you see, into this polished crystal or pyramid-looking thing that you can see there with the shimmering colours of the rainbow. And what this is saying is that if you just state your own point of view openly, directly, and clearly, any obstacles are going to get transformed. Misunderstandings will give way to clarity. I think now you're finding your inner center and your inner power and strength, and you'll be able to present your ideas and position with emphasis and openness, which I think is symbolized by these electric arrows of energy, which are electricity almost, which is flowing out of there. So don't procrastinate now. Don't hesitate. Be prepared to call out people or situations for what they really are. Now this rainbow that's above, you're probably saying, what does that mean? Well, I think that is the symbol of wholeness now. And it says to me that because rainbows turn up at the end of a rainstorm, so it's talking about maybe some aggravating processes now coming to an end. And you will look back and realize that the difficulties of the past have helped you gain knowledge, wisdom, and you'll enjoy their completion. Now, we just spoke about decision here, didn't we? And power, that's going to be with you. Now, I've got to suspect that this is related to what's going on with this thing here. First of all, let's see, what is the astrology of it? Well, it's Capricorn. And I think it would be Saturn, because I'm getting that from this colour of the horns. Saturn in Capricorn. This Hebrew letter is Ayin, which means eye. So you have a vision of things. You'll see things clearly. Notice also he's got a third eye there, which goes with that, which means I think that you'll be very intuitive. A lot of, well, probably understandably, a lot of procreative energy around you now. There's a new vitality going on in your life. And probably, as you would expect, great degree of sensuality and the physical expression of your sensual desires or impulses. You'll be very individualistic, I think, a lot of creative energy. You might find that you just do things here on blind impulse, because you'll say, this is something that I want, and your desire to obtain it is going to be irresistibly strong. A lot of endurance here. This is one of those cards that is often misunderstood. You've got to free yourself from all the superstitious and popular ideas about it. I think that this is represented by the old god Pan in the form of this white mountain goat with these huge twisted horns, as I see here, which for me are Saturn. Oh, and Saturn is the ruler of Capricorn, incidentally, as you would know. So this is bringing forward, step-by-step motion to the things that you want to obtain. Now, the column, which is rising up behind the god, well, you can probably put 2 and 2 together, and when you do that, it will add up to penis. And you would be right. And these two globes symbolize the testicles. This is a representation of really creative energy in its material form, about matter, about things, about money, about, maybe about Chanel or Louis Vuitton handbags or something like that. Now in these globes, which look like sperm cells, don't they, there are 4 male bodies and 4 female bodies, which represent them. They are representing the bringers of the new. There's tremendous powers of generation, which are also symbolized by this staff, which got the wings out there and there's little snakes around it. And the phallic column goes up past the edge of the painting through this ring. You probably can also put 2 and 2 together there. But another way of looking at it is that it reaches through the heavens, and the ring symbolizes the body of heaven itself. Now this column also goes right down into the earth. Now, I think that the connecting of the earth's center and of the heavens is a wonderful image of creative union, and the anchoring deep in the earth permits the dark brown earth energy to rise in order to melt with the golden cosmic energy from above. And this melting together of this cosmic and earth energy, it's going to inspire you in creative directions and make you capable of making things happen. This third eye, I think, says that you are going to be very intuitive here as well. Now, there may be some people who do demonize you, who make you out to be the devil. Well, I think you come to the conclusion now that you're not interested in other people's opinions of you. You're only interested in what your opinion of yourself is. Now, this is also suggesting the question of, do you have some wish or desire that you don't admit to? Say this to yourself at this time: I am a vital, joyful, and grounded person. I am the captain of my ship. The other thing that I see from here is that if you look at the face of the devil here, he is very, very focused, isn't it? Very tunnel vision is what he's got. And his vision is on material goals here. There's enough spirituality on this side, but this is also about the earth, about matter. And it can also mean that you are spending some time now just looking after your own best interest, which is a good thing to do, because despite what you may have heard, this is reminding you that nobody will ever give you anything in life. You have to take it and do it yourself. There just is no other way around that. But his tunnel vision here, I think, implies that you can accomplish a lot if you are focused, because this devil isn't distracted by anything. He's really focused on the task at hand. And of course, being in the sign of Capricorn here, well, that's a sign of business, career, and worldly success and social standing. And Capricorns are usually hard workers and high achievers. This is a time, I think, when if you were to say, what is your share price, your stock price, the price of your personal stock is going to go up. Now, there's a couple of other major arcanas here as well, and there's a 3 and XVI 17. Let's look at the 3 and see what is happening, shall we? Well, this is the daughter of the mighty ones, as I call her, and I see her being ruled by Venus. Venus is the most occult of the planets. I won't go into it, the occult aspects of it, but also it is widely known as being connected with relationship, love, happiness, and emotional enjoyment as well. What is this letter here? This is the letter Bet, which is Hebrew letter Bet, which is Hey, rather, I think, which is the letter for door or doorway, is what I see. Now, there will be unmistakably around you now, people are going to find you very, very attractive. Sort of love around here. Femininity and masculinity will be on high volume. There's a wisdom here. There's almost a connection between spirit and matter, inner and outer wealth. Huge amount of fertility here. You really do find now that the actions that you take following the decisions and the things that you then put in place to make things happen in the material world, you fulfill your potential because there's successful business here. Now, this woman, let's have a look at her. This painting of her, I see someone who embodies and commands the feminine in all of its forms. And around her, everything's marked by beauty and wholeness, isn't it? You almost sort of get a feeling of well-being in her presence, of taking part in the harmony of her being. However, her beauty isn't contained only within the externally visible. Her femininity is fully evolved on all levels of her being, giving her a special radiance. She is a mother and a lover, a ruler and a magician at the same time. And her strength rests on bringing together the highest spiritual values in their understandable forms with the lowest material qualities. But a lot of love in its giving and receptive aspects, which are the white and the red as I see it there. There's creativity and fruitfulness as a result of this green. Understanding and wisdom coming to you, which is the blue there. Her left hand is open receptively. And the procreative power of the male finds itself, in my mind, by this upright, erect lotus, which is just beside her heart chakra. Now, for the mothers that are out there, you will understand this. Look at this pelican here with its little baby pelicans around, this pink-white pelican. Do you know what it is doing? It is feeding its brood of babies with its own blood. The pelican was said to peck at and wound its own chest to get blood with which it would feed its children. So this can also represent the Great Mother, Mother Earth, who gives, excuse me, I bash my head into that. What was I saying? Well, that gives birth to and nourishes all living beings itself. Now, the moon and the earth things are surrounded by a real magnetic energy that's here, showing connection here. And so you've got the emotional depths of the unconscious moon being manifest visibly into the earth. Now, remember how we saw this here? So it's no coincidence that this should turn up as well, this unification of your subconscious and conscious mind and energies that are here. Because when the powers within are integrated, in addition to those things I already mentioned, you are going to radiate a wholeness, a completeness, and a beauty which will attract other people to you magnetically, because you'll give them a feeling of security and protection just by being in your presence. Now, interestingly here, this is also saying don't rest on your laurels, I think, because there is a little bird. I don't know what type of bird it is, but she's looking at it. And that says to me that she's looking to the future. Now, in her wisdom, she has turned away from the past, which is this little sparrow that's up there. That represents the past. So let go of the past is what is being said here. And the opening behind her, well, really, it could be seen as a door, which is what we said this Hebrew letter was saying. Now, the beauty that you see in others, of course, which attracts you to them, is a beauty that you carry within yourself. And I think that you are in the process of unfolding and evolving your natural feminine or masculine traits. I think this could also be the right time to work through and clarify any parent-child conflicts. Say this to yourself: I give and receive wisely. I realize that the capacity to receive, as she is doing here, is as important as the capacity to give. I value the healing power of beauty, harmony, and love, and I am filled with power and beauty. Now, we saw Saturn somewhere before, my picking up, and I also pick it up here. And I pick it up because of this Aquarius sign. So Aquarius is ruling the card. What's that mean? I can't remember what the letter is, but I know it means window. And windows are what lets the light in. And in the Hebrew, that letter was formed particularly because it, I think it might be Hey, allows the light of the divine to come into you. Here you have a period of great inspiration, again, crystallization of your ideas, but more importantly, a self-recognition. You will be radiating attractiveness here. You'll have a great trust in yourself, and something of a connection to universal intelligence, but I think that's pretty well you anyway. This is a time now where you're going to have hope, happiness, optimism. Cosmic blessings are pouring down upon you. Now, this is a beautiful process being represented by this image here. Cosmic energy of the highest nature is being received and made tangible on the material plane. Now, as I say, it's ruled by Aquarius, which is the water bearer, and this woman is the water bearer or the water carrier in this thing. And she's open to the input from the spiritual plane, and she passes it on in full as a service to the highest good. You really are going to be something like a channel used by divine energy to manifest on earth. And in each cup, as you can see there, well, she's pouring that divine energy out onto the earth. These vortices of power that are coming along. This long hair that she's got there, that's almost like an antenna, isn't it, to also pick up the messages. Do you know, there's going to be a new crystal clear vision which is going to lend form and purpose to that which only a moment ago just was like a vague impression for you. And you gain now a more penetrating view into the boundless potential of your development. It's showing up everywhere, showing up everywhere. And this power of the inspiration, well, it's going to give
you wings. It's going to give wings to your soul and lets the apparently impossible turn up in marvelous ways. So let your star rise and stay in contact with the earth, trust your environment, and find ways to let others share in it. I think you will be tested and recognized by the fruit you bear, you see. There's some question coming around here which is also connected with this. Are you totally fulfilled in your present area of work? Say to yourself, I am a radiant light being. I am a star that walks upon a bigger star. My creative powers of imagination and my connection to all-encompassing consciousness, it shows me the way to realize my ideas. Encouragement is now being given that although you may have had some testing times in the past, now is the time to get on with it, to take action, move forward with renewed hope, and live an inspired life that you can express yourself fully in. What a great set of cards for you. Made so much better for you being here.
Fantastic. Well, unless I see you in the meantime, either for a clairvoyant reading or for a healing, then I'll see you here again next month. And remember one thing, until I do see you again, that you are a legend. And I look forward to seeing you again next month. And until then, it's bye for now.